There was a strange moment in the second half
Yeah.
that we witnessed in the makeup room as we were getting ready to come out here, and we had to put the game on so we could get the audio. I was like, what the hell is going on here? There was a tackle by the sideline. Dre Greenlaw, the 49ers linebacker, tackled Devontae Smith, the Eagles receiver, at the Philadelphia sideline.
Right.
And threw him down hard.
Yep.
Right. Got a penalty.
Right. Wasn't crazy hard there.
Right.
But yeah, I started yelling to you. I was like, oh, man, there was a fight. And I was like, somebody on the Eagles sideline put their hand on one of the players.
Well, and that's what happened. Dom DiSandro, the director of security, and folks, that doesn't mean that you're there to break up fights during a game. That's not what the security, you're not the bouncer in game.
Yeah.
You're not there to push away players from the other team. So Dom DiSandro, who's been with the team since 1999, gets involved. There was a little bit of a glancing blow there, as Peter King described, that he put shaving cream on the face of Dom DiSandro. But it was enough of a fist toward the face that made a little contact to get Dre Greenlaw ejected from the game. And as that was happening, we were saying, like, well, what about the other guy? The other guy, what are they doing with him? He was ejected as well. Walt Anderson explained last night he wasn't penalized for
All-pro
it.
linebacker gets kicked off the field.
It's a great trade.
Yeah, right.
So,
Security
I'll
guard who
take
has
that
no
every game.
effect. Right, exactly.
A guy who has no impact whatsoever on the
Right.
game itself is sacrificed in exchange for an all-pro linebacker.
Right.
Sign me up for that any day of the week. And that's why. And you know, this is. And I love you, Eagles fans. I love your passion. I love the fact that you're always behind your team. Never change. I can take it. I can take the smoke. I can take the heat. But at the same time, we got to be realistic. There is no way that the league is not going to come down on the Eagles for this.
Definitely.
There is no
Agreed.
way there isn't going to be
Agreed.
a major penalty for the Eagles. And for Dom DiSandro, you cannot do this. You cannot have this. People who are not part of the game cannot be insinuating themselves into the physical scrum.
That's right.
You can't do it. It's a bright line that can't be crossed. The Eagles are going to be punished. DiSandro is going to be punished. My first thought was, wait a minute. The kid that gave Tyreek Hill the phone gets his credential revoked for the rest of the year. And Big Dom is going to be there the rest of the year on the sideline after this happens.
Fair point.
He should be gone, too, for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
That's not the Eagles' space. They don't own that space. The NFL owns that space. They decide who's down there. And I was getting text messages from people saying, you know, this is a broader issue of why in the hell are there so many people on the sideline anyway?
Exactly right.
What are all these people there for?
Yeah.
Why do they need to be there?
Sure.
You don't need to be there. The officials keep the peace during the game. Nick Sirianni doesn't need his bodyguard. No coach needs his bodyguard on the sideline with him during the game. And I know part of it is, we're the bullies, but when the bully starts to try to bully a player and get involved and put hands on a player, even though nothing bad happened, you got to nip that in the bud because strategically, it is a great trade. You'll gladly give up one of your non-coaches for a great player from the other team.
A really good middle linebacker.
Go ahead, stick your chin out there. Go ahead and hit me. Come on. And all sorts of stuff being said. It reminded me of last year when Bruce Arians, when he wasn't coaching the Buccaneers, was on the sideline stirring it up with Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore. And they got him. What happened? Get your ass off the sideline.
Yeah, back up in the booth. Right. Yeah. Not a good look for the Eagles there. Definitely not. You know, a weird play. And again, we couldn't hear everything there. Where first off, I mean, the Dre Greenlaw tackle I didn't think was that crazy egregious. I was a little surprised a flag even got thrown at that moment, right? I know we've seen people who get suplexes get flagged before. This wasn't like a crazy suplex. He didn't like lift him up all out of the air. So I didn't necessarily think a flag was totally warranted there. But we've met Dom DiSandro before. I've known him for a long time. He's an awesome guy. I love him. I really do. You know, and he's Nick Sirianni's right-hand man. It's more than just a bodyguard. It's almost like a personal assistant. But this is a no-no in the NFL. This ain't your fight, Dom, or any security guy that works for a football team on the sideline. It ain't your fight. You're not suiting up. There's nothing you can do about it, so don't get involved on the sideline. It's unprofessional by the Eagles there in this situation. And you're right. This is something where I think the NFL will probably come down kind of hard on them or certainly send a warning shot across the bow to everybody to go, you can't let people that are not involved in the game start getting physically involved in the football game. right? He gonna put his hand. He put his hands on Dre Greenlaw first, right? And that's a big no-no in the football world, especially, yes, like I said, when you're not between the lines in the fight, because the player knows I can't do anything to you, but here you are gonna put your hands on me. That's not fair, and we know if the fight was fair, how that would go down.
That is the job of the officials. He tried to do what officials are there to do, to separate players.
Right.
And when he got in there, and I think Greenlaw
separated him and started calling it bullshit saying that's bull. Sorry, Liverpool. Sorry, London.
But I mean, I think Greenlaw just reacted like your
what
basic
are you?
Human defense. Like you're in a spot where somebody is there who shouldn't be there,
right?
Who
and
is
you're
pushing
putting my
you.
hands on me and telling me, right.
How do you not like? I'm not condoning it. Not that he
Right.
punched him in the face, but it's just the natural
It's
reaction.
like he's like, I want to punch you, but I can't. So
like,
let me just flick you in the
what
face.
What is this guy who isn't an official,
Right.
who isn't a player, doing touching me in this setting?
Yeah.
It's like, have I lost my freaking mind here? So Nick Sirianni apologized on the field after the game to Kyle Shanahan for
Shanahan
what happened.
went berserk.
Here's Shanahan, and here's Shanahan explaining after he calmed down. Would have loved to have been able to play the sound of when he was.
I can play it for you.
There'd be a few bleeps.
I know how he talks.
Here's what Shanahan had to say after the game.
Oh, yeah, that's why I tried my hardest not to lose my mind. Hopefully I didn't embarrass myself too bad. But, yeah, once I didn't get to see it all from where I'm at, but when I started hearing people explain it to me and stuff, and I just can't believe someone not involved in a football game can taunt our players like that and put their hands in our guy's face. And from what I was told, Dre did it back to him, and I was told that he kind of mashed him in the face a little bit, so he got ejected. But it was a very frustrating play. I got to watch it to have a true opinion on it, but I loved how we rallied after it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. To the extent that moment was going to help anybody, it helped the 49ers.
Yeah, right.
Because how do you not feel like you got screwed by that? And it really, and this is, look, this isn't about punishing the Eagles. This is about deterring other teams.
Yeah, it's
because
be the
you're
real
always
thing.
looking for an edge.
Yeah.
You're always looking for an advantage. This is the Belichick way. Belichick would look at this, assuming he had the players and the team for it to even make a difference, but you look at it and say, hey, this is just an arrow to put in the quiver along with all the others. This is something we could do. This is something that could just kind of naturally happen when the opportunity arises.
Yep.
This is a way to get one of their best players out of the game. They're gone. And I'll gladly give up Burge or whoever, whoever the guy would be that instigates and draws a glancing blow to the face, and that guy gets ejected. And isn't it amazing? Like, I wonder, I got many questions about the officiating function and the NFL's direct involvement in it. Why did they eject Dre Greenlaw for that? Remember earlier this year when Trent Williams punched that guy in the face in the Thursday night 49ers-Giants game, and they didn't eject him? Remember the the week 2
but
Monday
I guess
night
that was
game?
a player, so they felt that looked better? I don't even know.
Remember when Deshaun Watson blew a gasket and was like shoved an official out of his way, and they're like, oh, that's fine, that's fine.
Right.
So why is Greenlaw ejected for this glancing blow off the face of Dom DiSandro? Now, they did eject DiSandro too, but it was just a big mess. And Walt Anderson explained last night they couldn't penalize DiSandro because the officials at the game didn't penalize him, so you can't drop the flag or tell them to drop the flag from 345 Park Avenue.
Which is another reason why they can't let it happen anymore. They can't happen.
You've got and that's I think by the middle of the week, and I'm trying to find out what the procedure is. It's not the normal player disciplinary procedure. There are other people involved at 345 Park Avenue, but you can't have that. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was different.
Right.
It was exciting. It's given us something to talk about, but you can't have that because you cannot create any sort of temptation that a team would trade someone who is of no consequence whatsoever to the game for someone who is.
Yeah, that's right. The bottom line, it's a no-no in the NFL bylaws. Like, you know that when you're a personnel person or not playing in the game and you're on the sidelines. Geez, even the backup quarterback and guys they know that aren't supposed to be playing in the game, you know your place. Hey, let the guys fight it out who are playing on the field and in the midst of the battle. Don't We don't need any guys on the sidelines jumping in and getting involved in something they really are going to have no say in when it's all said and done. And like you said, it's hard to officiate that. It's hard enough officiating the guys on the field, let alone, now it's people all dressed the same on the sidelines. You don't know what the hell they're doing. Not a good look for the Eagles. They'll get it right. The Eagles are top-notch. Dom DiSandro's a great guy. He is one of my favorite coach, personal security guys in football. So I know he's probably embarrassed about it a little. Sirianni's a stand-up guy. The Eagles are a top-notch organization. It was a tough night. Like we said, they're not used to being bullied, and they were getting bullied. And there was issues, and we know there was even a little scuffle before the game. That of course, got some attention there too. But when it was all said and done on the field, the 49ers won that scuffle. And really any facet you want to talk about. Running the ball, boom. Yep, they win that battle. Passing the ball, efficiency, big plays in the pass game. Everything you look at. The game went on. The 49ers started the game 0 for 2 on third down, right? From that point on, they went 8 for 9, right? So the game really after those first 2 drives was a 49er domination effort that we've seen nobody do to the Eagles over the last 2 years. And that's where we come back to the point of what you're saying. I don't think there's any doubt that right now, if you made me throw down money, the 49ers are the best team in football. They have the most talent. They seem to be the team that's also the most driven to go get the Super Bowl trophy and hungry and mad that they've come up short in the NFC Championship game 2 years in a row. They got a lot of things that I think are affecting their positive mojo they got working right now. And, I'd be shocked if we don't see the 49ers, at least in the NFC Championship when it's all said and done.
Unless
the injuries.
In their path, as they keep going all out, pedal to the metal, right, you get Christian McCaffrey and or Deebo Samuel and or Trent Williams and or Brock Purdy and or Dre Greenlaw and or Nick Bosa. 2-3 of those guys is enough to open the door.
Yes.
But
right.
maybe even then, maybe they've done it a few times. They weathered that storm. They lost 3 games in a row. Maybe they learned from it. I don't know. They do feel like they are hitting their stride. They're determined. They're driven. They're motivated. They want to finish the business that they've been involved in since 2019 where they've gotten close, but they haven't gotten it done. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.